Obviously, all the chatter is that the DOJ let Trump's lawyers know that he's a target of an investigation. Where do I think this is all headed? I think it's a gift to the Republicans, who are wiser this time than they were in 2016. And I think the Republicans are going to do what they can to outsmart Trump in the primaries and get some candidate in that they could all get behind. So it's not Trump, because they know they're going to be killed if Trump is their candidate. I think it's a gift to the Republicans, and I think it's a gift to the Democrats, because it makes it look like Biden's DOJ is finally doing something and is effective, and that it's just a matter of time before Trump gets charged and possibly in prison. But because of systemic justice issues in America, where the rich get away with murder and corruption and the poor get prison, even if there is an indictment to add on to the other indictment, and let's say Georgia comes in with their indictment, Trump still has the financial war chest, because he's raising money. He's raising money being this martyr of these so-called witch hunts. He's going to fight this ultimately and drag it out. What I think will ultimately happen is the Republican candidate's not going to be him in the primaries, but whoever it is going to make a backroom deal saying, hey, let's say it's Nikki Haley, let's say it's DeSantis, whomever. They're going to basically say through their proxies that if Trump comes in and brings his people in, brings the Bannon podcast power to the Republican base, like gets all the soldiers aligned, gets the far right coalition in lockstep to secure the White House for the Republicans, then Trump gets a pardon for his charges, right? So I think there are going to be backroom deals between Trump and whoever the Republican candidate is going into 2024. And let's say Biden wins again, and it's Biden. I do think the risk is that the Trump case will fizzle out, because he's going to buy himself an out-of-jail card. It's just a simple fact. There's a wonderful editor at ProPublica, Jesse Eisinger, who I used to work with at Condé Nast Portfolio back in the day, who wrote a book called The Chicken Shit Club on how the SEC let Wall Street get away with tanking our global economy. And now Wall Street is back with the same gambling den, and it could happen again. What the SEC allowed Wall Street get away with applies to the DOJ, which is also a revolving door of lawyers, prosecutors going into public service and then coming out and working for white-collar crime law firms. Also, the DOJ is underfunded, understaffed, and they have limited resources. And then, of course, you tack on Trump's crime squad, intimidation tactics, harassment tactics, and so on. I mean, there's a reason why Special Prosecutor Jack Smith goes around with his own private security detail. So what I would expect is that even if it's full speed ahead, Trump's getting hit with all the indictments, he's going to court, all that stuff, I do see this dragging out through the power of his war chest and fizzling out sometime around, I would say, midterms 2026. And then the Democrats paying the political price for that, because people are feeling largely across America demoralized. And Biden's approval ratings have taken a beating. And I think a big part of that, as I keep saying in the show, is because why the hell is the guy who terrorized us for 4 years as a corrupt president brought to power with the help of the Kremlin, a mass murdering regime, who then goes on to lead a violent coup attempt at a democracy? Why isn't he in jail? Like, that's hanging on all of us. That's hanging on how we raise our children and the conversations we have with them over like being good and making good choices and being a good citizen. It's hit America's psyche very hard, just like the disillusionment of Watergate and how they got away with it, with all the pardons and so on. And so I think ultimately that's what happens. And I'm not saying that because I enjoy saying that. I'm just being realistic with my expectations. And what am I basing my expectations on? Well, how things typically work. The past gives indications for future behavior, and that's how they'll play out in the future. There's going to be nothing exceptional here. It comes down to the financial war chest and the inequality in America's justice system. There you have it. But go ahead and celebrate if whatever progress is made. I do have a little cheers, a little toast with my own self. It does put a mark on him. It does stack the deck, making it more likely he's not going to be the Republican candidate. But yeah, that's it. Sorry, this is not the podcast for you if you want to hear justice porn, as they say.